Oh, it's gonna be. You mean 29? Got it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a runoff. Going into the runoff for sure. Contrary to what everybody may believe, but it will be going into a runoff.
Is that because of the mail-ins that are coming in? Is that what you're saying, or just pure numbers already?
Mail-ins and from what's already kind of been looked at so far. But yeah. The same thing similar to what DeAndre said. They have to look at by the 14th you said?
Yeah, 14th.
Yeah.
Yep, by the 14th. Which is interesting because by the 14th for some of those races, if people not out there still pounding the pavement just because, then they only gonna have 3 weeks to do their work as opposed to 5 weeks, which like Brandon Johnson and Paul Vallis have. So that's gonna make it real tight and really interesting about what type of strategies do you employ. So
yeah.
Well, you already seen Ballas. He's getting all these endorsements.
the right way.
He already.
The right way. I said the right way. He ain't wasting no time. He done right on it.
Yeah,
he
jumping right in, jumping right on it.
I was reading about the mayor in New York. He was saying democratically held cities better take notice of Lori Lightfoot's defeat. And he was saying that policing and crime is the top issue. And he was saying that even some of his constituents, because he came in with this idea of trying to get crime under control and looking at policing, some think that these are like more Republican talking points. And he's like, I mean, that's not it. I mean, if you can't survey the scene and the layout and understand that these cities, are not doing well because they're crime-ridden cities, like, I don't know what to tell you. And so, I thought it was real interesting that Lori Lightfoot ran on a wave of reform, right? Laquan McDonald situation happened, the video come out, Anita Alvarez lost her job. Rahm Emanuel stepped down. He didn't want the scrutiny because the wave, the energy was we replacing everybody that had something to do with this. She come in as a reformer. That's what really carried her. Now, Paul Vallis finished 9th in that race, by the way, 2019. Now, crime, we get Lori in. She reformed some things. We took away the no foot chase policy, or we instilled the no foot chase policy. Same thing with car chases, amongst other things. Crime goes up. I mean, people making a mockery of the police. You can't chase me, no way. You can't do nothing. It's all on video. People following suit. Crime going up. Paul Vallis come in. They call him the law and order guy. He conservative. In some respects, people say he a closet Republican. Boom. But the onus is on somebody to get crime together, period. All across the continental United States. Crime is going up in terms of, the TikTok trends and things like that. So now Paul Vallis come in speaking that way, and he's the guy that's winning because with all the changes that we decided to make as it related to policing, that state included, crime has gone up. The people that are criminals are laughing at the criminal justice system because it's lenient on them. But this is what we wanted. But now you're gonna have to, and so now the winds of change are blowing such that individuals that are talking law and order are the ones that we're looking at because we're like, all right, well, is this what we want? I say all that to say we go too far in the other direction, man. Like, how do we get here constantly? Every time it's time for regime change, we go all the way in the other direction, man. What is going on? What is going on?
Let me say something. I'm sorry. I'm gonna pop in here and say this one thing. First of all, Paul Vallis didn't swoop on in like a night in
a thief in the night
or whatever.
Yeah.
This dude literally ran a campaign for Black years straight. connected with him on Facebook. And
Okay.
every time there was something egregious that happened in the community, he called out Lori Lightfoot. Like, he didn't let up.
Yeah. Same on
And
Twitter.
then-
You're right. You're right about that. Same on Twitter. Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Same on. He was
Yep.
blowing it up. So he was camp this whole time. Number two, he built a good base. Number two, what I want to say is, and again, always just my opinion. Sometimes what we do, in my opinion, is we ask for the maximum. The thing that is most like the highest point of, foot chase, completely remove it all instead of actually adjusting what's in place that actually helps and, can keep us safe. And what we do is remove the whole thing. And I keep saying this, I know, I probably sound like a broken record, but that whole no loitering, got us in a little bit of a bind right now. Because now we have all of this open air drug markets that are all over the place just because, there's people who were retarded, black, brown, because they were quote unquote loitering. So then they disband the whole rule. And so now it's drug sales popping up everywhere. Instead of like revamping the rule and putting guardrails in place, what we did is completely relaxed it, and now you just allow everything to like go. So yeah,
Right.
my suggestion for us is that, we start poking holes in even our own ideas. What's the worst that could happen? And then if that worst thing that could happen, it could cause chaos and some unruliness in our communities, then how can we actually safeguard against that? And with that, I will turn it back on to you.
Yeah.
So everybody's talking about the foot chase. So this was a policy that was in place because I was at the polls on Tuesday and I saw 7 police chase a guy right in front of me on foot.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
So I don't understand what this whole foot chase thing. I don't think anybody ever paid any attention to that. If that really was what was going on.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's.
So what they knew Lori wasn't gonna win, so they said we're gonna foot chase today.
So the foot chase, yeah, possibly. Who knows?
Yeah,
But the foot chase
I see.
policy was implemented after the Adam Toledo thing. I believe that was the one that led to the foot chase. I mean, there's been so many.
I literally seen the guy run in front of me, and
Right.
then the cops run behind him, and then 5, 6, 7 more were running behind him. I mean, I didn't think that was real. This foot chase thing. I understand with the automobiles because
Right.
of accidents, but
Well, look, this is a video on Twitter with the with some guys. How would you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Antagonizing the police because they was actually running after somebody, saying what you said. And they like, you can't chase him. You can't chase him. One of the dudes tripped the officer. She was a female officer.
yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
when they ran in the yard.
Yeah. So that
but wasn't that a while back?
No, that
Okay.
was this year. That was what past year was.
Yeah, it might
That
have
was-
been past year. I see.
That was after the foot chase. No foot chase policy was.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I'm saying, like, it's in place. Are people still being chased? Yeah,
Right.
but it is in place, and largely, by and large, most officers are not doing that. Now, you said when you saw those officers, the commander was there,
Yeah, he had just circled the block, but
but he popped out. He running too, right?
no.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm gonna say. Shit, the commander running, you definitely running. You
No.
might not be the last one. running.
Actually, when they put all the heat on him, I didn't see the commander anymore.
Okay.
I just was it was like he came around the block, I seen him, he was disappeared, then all of a sudden this action jumps into place, and there are probably 20, 25 policemen circling around, and like I said, 7 of them chased the guy down the street through an alley, up an alley into a yard, and couldn't get at him or something. I don't know. It was just, and we don't even know what it was about, other than the guy jumped out of our car.
Mm.
And
Right. Now that's how that guy got killed. At least he just got killed chasing somebody.
I
Yeah.
just put that in the chat. Literally just put that in the chat.
Yep. It was a domestic. That was one of the things I asked some officers. So I just completed doing a training. Well, I did just complete doing a training session with the officers at the new training facility that just went up there on Chicago Avenue. But beyond that, I was asking one of the officers about domestic calls, because that's one of the bulk That's the bulk of the calls that officers receive or have to attend to are these domestic calls, and they can go anyway. And the officer I was talking to was actually talking about how difficult those calls are actually for the males, because, for example, he told me a story of, he said the guy went over there with the girl, and the girl and her brothers jumped on the man. But the woman called the police, said he pushed her and everything. Hey, did that happen? I don't know. The officer didn't say it did, but what he did say was the man got his ass whooped real good. And when the officer came, the guy was like, hold on, man, you're going to arrest me? Look at my face. Look at my shit. And he was like, well, she called. You know, and that's just one of the things that a lot of men have to go through, you know, whether or not they really are the aggressors in the situation. But that turns around now, this guy who ain't did nothing, if he hasn't, feels a way about the police because I just got my ass whooped and I'm getting locked up. So it creates a really bad situation. Domestics are the worst calls that they have.
But he is a little better off. He just got one whooping.
Right.
Used to be get whooped by the brothers and stuff. And then the police come and whoop him again. Then they tell him, you know what? Don't go back in the house tonight, man. And keep this in mind. And they get one good kick to the stomach.
Yeah. But what I say that to say, being that domestic calls are one of the largest calls that they have to take, it will be great to figure out a solution to that. I don't know. Do we send social workers? Do we send mental health experts? Do we send relationship coaches? I'm just saying, like we and an officer. I think an officer should always be involved because you never know how those things may turn out. But if we're gonna send CIT units, and in some respect, I think they call CARE. These are individuals that are trained to deal with mental health issues. We send them out for mental health calls instead of officers, or with officers sometimes. If the domestic violence cases are some of the largest cases that don't really work out well for officers in some respects, like the case of the young man that got killed, like how do we start to circumvent that? What do we need to put in place to really help officers with that? Because I don't think that's a call that they necessarily should always respond to. You know, similarly to mental health issues, those are calls that they shouldn't always respond to.
Well, I think they should always respond because you don't know how intense they're going to get.
What I mean. Yeah.
You don't know who's going to pull a knife, who's going to pull a gun, who's going to pull whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
So they definitely need to be in on the domestic because other people can't diffuse those things, you know. Like that.
One of our YouTubers saying no police.
The laws ain't helping the women, like the women put these order of protection out for these men, and these men end up killing them. I don't think they're doing enough for domestic, as far as the woman, because a lot of these women are getting killed. I know so many personally that the man came back, had that order of protection. It was like a sheet of paper, and they came back and killed the woman and her kids. So I know some personally. So I don't know what's going on, but they don't do enough to protect the one. They want to keep having this trend of domestic violence. Because they just be from the same houses and the same situation and the order of protection there, and they're not protecting the person that put out the order of protection. They're not helping them. Wow. So that goes both ways.
That's interesting.
I 100% agree. Yeah. That right there on the money. And my best friend we still cool, it's all outdoors. He in his 60s, we used to date, and this dude beat down women, and that's what he do. And he's, well, you know how I get down. Now he'll be grown down, a man just like he would a woman, but he knows if he get mad, he has a problem. And he just, even in his old age, so for me, even bringing people to the house like that, he needs his own individual, like rewiring of how he thinks. Because now I know I'm watching TV shows and stuff, but I did watch Netflix for this, what Ms. Barbara was talking about. And it was about people who were being stalked, and then they ended up being killed. And all these instances, they were giving the police all of the information, but yet they kept saying we can't do anything because he has not broken a law. And so by the time he broke a law, they ended up fighting. That's one problem. But the second problem is that, man, women, having been there before, have this weakness thinking this is the first time, oh, I just made him mad, oh, it's so much involved with that to where the police, there is a problem, the police keep coming to the same household, but yet the woman is not actually leaving. You know what I mean? I hope that made sense to y'all. That's, the woman
Oh,
is not
no,
leaving
yeah, yeah.
because she has this whole, I don't know what kind of mentality they call it, but, you know, this abusive, like she has that thing to where she sees nothing but good in the person that she's with and gives excuses. He's like this, oh, because he was drinking tonight. Oh, it's like this because of this. Oh, something at work happened. There's always excuses. And even when the police show up, she don't want to press charges. There's so much that goes into this.
Yeah.
I think there's a whole host that we need to, you know, revamp altogether.
Someone just said the police are the biggest offenders of domestic violence because they're bringing their jobs
yeah.
home.
Oh yeah. No, no. Woo.
So
That woman in Austin, she was killed by
Right.
male. Yeah, that woman. Just last year, we had a woman in Austin killed by an officer, and before that, we had a woman that disappeared when she got into the officer's
right.
truck.
Yeah, that's Tracy.
Yeah,
That's my wife's friend.
Right.
Niece. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
domestics are very
Domestic.
And you know what's strange? I was told in Hispanic communities that the domestic violence issue is great. They say it's so big that you know we couldn't even imagine because a lot of times the women don't report it because of I don't know if it's for you know they're just afraid of the police and afraid of the man. Or I think both. I think that's what they told me. They're afraid of the system, and they just don't report it. There was a guy just right behind the 25th district about 6 years ago. Guy got into it. What'd you say? The guy got into it with another guy that was messing around with his wife, and he stabbed the guy, and he killed the guy right there in the backyard. Caught him coming out naked. And somebody ended up covering the guy up with the blanket.
So I saw this. I want to hold it there because I saw this on YouTube and I thought this was interesting. So I want y'all to listen to this. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I can play this. This thing here. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, damn, why ain't they playing? What is sound? Oh, duh. Y'all probably can hear it. Can y'all hear that? Yo.
I can't hear anything.
Did you share the sound in your Zoom when you put the share the screen? You got to share the sound.
Right. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on.
And then it
Hello?
comes up, pop up saying share
Hello?
the sound. So when you do the
Hello?
share your screen, it should pop up at the end that share the sound, that share the audio.
Hello? Okay. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. That conversation can really go a variety of ways. But something has to be done with the domestic violence calls because that would lessen up a lot of the work that the officers got to do to really focus on some of the more challenging tasks of the day because that shouldn't be one of them, honestly.
that could escalate to go astray real quick, you know. So I don't know if that wouldn't be considered one of the challenges.
Yeah, but I mean, if you could, we got to figure something though. I mean, I get it, but we got to figure out something though, because that is one of the largest calls that we make that is being made to the police, and it's one of the most, how do you call it, like I would say it's difficult to deal with because it's erratic. You don't know if this is one of those calls where somebody gonna walk away peacefully, but you gotta fight somebody, or and then you don't know the underlying reasoning behind it, And a lot of those could be whether it's mental health or person ain't got a job, or it's
Yeah, but they got to make that assessment. Somebody's got to go and make that assessment. What do? Just let it, simmer itself down?
nah,
Obviously, you can't.
nah, that don't, yeah, that ain't always the answer.
I mean, it has to be some intervention. I don't know by who, but right now,
Dispatchers, they should be able to get more. They should have a checklist. When they get a domestic call, the dispatcher should have a checkoff list that asks specific questions. Is this related to mental health? Is this, is this a domestic between a man and woman, man and man? You know what? They should have a question, a checklist to be able to report it to the police before they get there to know what type of situation they're going into. They're going in totally blind with lack of information, like you said, and they get caught up. And the problem is the turnaround with the domestic, once they arrest the person, they let them out too quick. But without finding out everything, they just turn around, let them out the next day, 24-hour home, whatever they do. It's the turnaround. And I think with domestic, they need to look at it and hold people longer. That's the problem. That's why it ends up someone dead.
Yeah, I remember a police officer told me the guy was arrested on a domestic. He got out the next day. He went and got his gun, went up to his girlfriend's house, knocked on the door. She went open the door. He shot through the door. They pursued with a foot chase. They caught the guy. He had crawled under a car. They said the guy was moving. They said we couldn't even keep up with him. We thought he was like Usain Bolt or something. He was jumping fences and everything. And they said they finally caught the guy, and the guy said, "It wasn't me. I wouldn't know what it near that." And they said, "Wait a minute, you got the same clothes you had on yesterday when we arrested you, and they took you down to the county." So the guy tried to deny it, but hey, it happens.
Yeah, I think all of these things that we're talking about in policing and public safety, I really think these are the conversations that we'll be having as district council members, really trying to figure out what does community think? What could we put in place? We may not have policy that exists right now where OMC has to take down the particulars, all of the particulars about the case or the call, such that it can be given to the proper or given the proper attention that it needs, whether it's a mental health case and you can get people to come out, whether it's, whatever it is. But I think this is what we're supposed to be doing as district council members, is really trying to figure out how do we increase positive public safety, help with policing or policing issues, not only the ones that as it relates to the police themselves, but as it relates to the community. So I think these are the type of conversations that we'll end up having a lot.
Someone said women should have more self-defense classes, I guess.
Yeah, they shit. Listen, I got a daughter. My daughter going in martial arts. Soon as she able to to do that, we putting her right in martial arts, right from a young age. My brother got his baby in martial arts, and then when she get old enough after that, I'm gonna put a gun in her hand. For real. You gotta teach we should be teaching ourselves how to protect our community at all times. I don't care if You know,
So at every wedding and every vow should be to death do us part, and here's your 9 and here's my 45.
hey man, you know,
That's crazy, y'all. The best, I love it, DeAndre, but I'm telling you, the best defense that you have for your daughter is to teach her who she is. Like, there are
that too.
people, they ain't
That
going
too.
for it. Yeah, but
That too.
also martial arts is good. Having her packing is great, but she never tolerated a relationship that would compromise her
Right.
Yeah, but now we ain't talking about just
we
we ain't talking about just relationships. We talking about people. We talking about in this lifetime where people gonna try you. I want her to be able to put somebody on their back pockets. For real.
When we talking about domestics, I just don't see why in a domestic situation a woman and a man gotta have a gun. I mean, it's just crazy.
Right.
I mean,
it's crazy.
It's family self-defense. I just hope that you don't use them on each other, and y'all of same mind that if it comes to that point, you moving on.
Yeah, but the minute when you say this is mine and this is yours, it's like no, all these. What's that?
Abusers and abused people know each other. I mean, the women who like to be beat, they pick men who like to beat them.
Yeah. But
I'm gonna go ahead and push a little bit back. I'm just gonna say this. I don't think any woman. Well, I can't speak for every woman, but I'm just saying, having been in a abusive relationship multiple times, I did not choose. You never really know someone until you get angry, and sometimes you don't know that until months later when you're already falling for them, and certain things happen. So I think that there is a such thing as predator and prey. People understand what personalities they can get away with certain things, but I just want to choose to believe that there are not a whole slew of women out there who want these. They just get caught up and don't know how to exit.
Now, you know what? Now, I have some women friends, who make all of their men fight them. They be the most peaceful man around. She could, when they start fighting her.
Man.
Some people just attract that. You know?
Oh, I hear what you're saying. Okay, so you're saying the drama of the woman, of how unruly she is, and okay, I feel you. I feel you on that. I'm just saying, for my situation, this is a track record. Everybody that they've been with, they done harmed, and they don't see anything wrong with it. But I do feel you on that. Yeah, there are some people who just have difficult personalities from the crib.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't just a man that want to, get with them and rock with them like that. Their friends and classmates and coworkers too.
Right.
A lot of it comes from the father. What they seen their father doing. That's what it's pretty much. It's never really what they seen their mother doing. You know what I mean? When the last time you heard a man say, "Yeah, I seen my mama get beat by my dad," and I said, "Yeah, that's what women need." No, because it typically comes from the father. When they see their father doing it, they figure, "Oh, this is what it takes." So it's a weird setup. It's a terrible setup, but let's say also men circles to discuss mental health and political education to understand manhood. You get that?
Yeah. I think those are some remedies, some ideas.
Remedies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man. I mean, relationships in general. I don't know what's going on with relationships today. Are they more strained than they ever been?
Yeah.
Are they
Yeah, they are
more distant.
I mean, today we have such a paradigm shift. I mean, first and foremost, in blue states, we don't even know what a woman is anymore.
Right.
So likewise, we don't know what a man is. We don't even have, we've completely X'd out what is it? What I don't even want to say it. You know what? Ain't my business. I don't care. But we don't know. You know what I mean? So the relationships, the roles are vastly different than the concepts that we had growing up. I thought that a man was head of household. No, a woman was head of household. The man was head of her. And that was some, and I thought that women typically held, how would you call it, like domestic roles, such that women were the ones that typically cleaned and cooked and made sure the house was tidy and kept the kids together. Men went out, he did the work, he brought the check back, she got it, made sure everything was good, and he was good. And that's vastly different because our women are far outpacing us, especially in the Black community. Women are far outpacing us in both education and earning power. So now they get to stand on top of the man head and shout down to him, especially if he's not holding up his end of the bargain. And now men are really becoming the cooks and the cleaners and the stay-at-home dads.
Men are becoming the kids to the women. Because
that too.
Because all they do is
that too.
They don't want a job. They'll stick around. Well, she gonna take him in, and she baby him, and she take care of him, and then he do what he want to do.
That too.
So it really didn't make it better.
That's what I'm saying. Roles have changed. So it's really like.
No, I think the real dynamic of a relationship should be based on know your role. If you know your role, that's all it takes. If your role is to clean and cook and work, then that's your role. That's understood between the two people. No matter if it's the man or the woman, just know your role.
Right.
I mean, I look at myself. I'm like, my wife been taking care of paying the bills since I was 20 years old.
Right.
And I'm like, I had to think about that. I'm like, why wasn't I the one that paid the car note back when I first got a new car? But she knew to take care of that.
Right.
I brought the money, put it in the account. She took care of it.
Right.
But it was so much as, you do these things, I'll do those things. And garbage, I'm always the garbage man.
Right.
To my kids and got them to, try to do it.
Right.
Take care of it. But it's just, you just have to disseminate and pick what your role is. And if you're comfortable with doing it, do it,
Right. But now, if you got men who are comfortable with the role of letting these women take care of them as if they sons, then what does that mean for the generation of men that's coming up after them? Again, the roles are changing. What is becoming of men today?
Well, I don't know.
We don't have a definition for men. We don't, again, especially in blue states. You cannot readily call somebody a man or a woman with, you just can't. It just, we there now. You can't even do it.
I don't know. I don't even know if that pertains to just blue states.
Not blue states.
If you go to red states, they're going to tell you flat out, that ain't a man. That ain't, they're going to say things like that. They're going to tell you what is and what isn't, what's not. But you're saying it's just hard to figure it out?
Absolutely. And today, hell yeah. Today's society, oh yeah. There's no clear-cut way to say this is a man.
Somebody said something earlier about a domestic, whether it's 2 men and 2 women. And someone told me something about that. They said when they hate answering calls when there are 2 women in a domestic. And I forgot how that went down, how it usually goes down. I said, awesome. Oh yeah, that's the same thing. Yeah. Yeah. 2 women in the domestic police. They have a bit of a problem with that, from what I was told. But again, roles are roles, man. Look at what's, like you said, look at what's going on today. More women becoming more educated, getting more money, which means what? Do they dominate the relationship?
They could.
Yeah.
They could.
They
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah. Let me say this. I used to teach GED, and I was going on kind of like the same thing you guys are talking about different roles and stuff, and what people want out of a relationship. And I asked the class one time, what do women want? Expect them to say security, protection, all that. The girl told me money, sex, and drugs.
In that order.
Okay?
Pop 2 perk 60, that's a perk 30.
So
Come on.
on.
You gotta do a perky dance.
Well,
How old was she?
I guess maybe 19, 20.
Sorry, y'all, I'm eating, but, you know, children, things really don't mature until they're about 26 years old. They probably need some time to grow. But I can't, and that's crazy, though, that a 19-year-old would say that. But what I wanted to say about these roles, it is important to know your role and be content with that. But it's also, to me, you know, important for you to also define all roles, because that's how this miscommunication of what you're supposed to do, what I'm expected, is all in my head. And we've not discussed it together to understand, you know, for me to be dissatisfied because you're not operating according to your role. Well, we never had that conversation. You know, we didn't really talk.
right.
Personally,
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying when the script getting handed out, you know, go over the script, know your role. I'm not saying arbitrarily say, oh, I'm gonna do this and not include anybody. No, there's a script. And once the script is given to each individual, go over the script, read the script, understand the script, and know your role. And if sometimes those roles have to be picked up by the other, it is what it is, you know, here and there. But not to understand your role, it could be problems. That's probably the biggest problem with a relationship. People don't know what they're getting into. They don't talk about what they're getting into. Don't know what they want to talk about getting into. And then the script gets dropped, and then everything just goes to what we just got through saying, having domestic abuse in situation. I used to always have this thing where I would say, the minute you gotta bring the legal system in the middle of our relationship, we ain't got a relationship.
Not at all.
We don't have one. Because it's not me and you, it's me, you, and the system. And the system ain't gonna be for neither one of us.
Yeah, you know what you know, the crazy thing is, like, when you say roles and things of this nature, it's hard to say that because now you're trying to go against the system. The world that we currently live in and is construed, they want to tone down masculinity. They want it toned down. That's why they put in all of the black leaders and the people we see. They've been doing this for years, putting them in dresses and things like that. They want it like that. They want the women. Women have went through for their rights and things like that. But it's becoming increasingly that way, where it's like this is, we put the women up in front in just the pictures and the things that they're portraying in the media, which we all know we follow the media, regardless of what people say. The media is what we portray. So there never was a guide map to how to be a man or how to be a woman. And what it was whatever the image was splashed on our screen. So back in the day, when you saw a pimp and you saw them talking to the woman, that was what the image, and I'm talking about in the black communities, that was what the image of what the men wanted to be. You never seen what you consider a black happy family unless it was Family Matters or A Different World or The Cosby Show. Those were the images that was portrayed in front of us. So it's like, well, know your role. Like, what does that even mean? And nowadays, when you got a lot of younger kids, they don't want to, they not like choosing to be in relationships. So I can believe when they say, a young woman say sex, money, and drugs, because that's what's being displayed across their screen. My daughter is 18. She got her prom coming up, and I'm like, damn. I would have liked to experience her going on the prom with a gentleman, or hell, even bringing the gentleman to the crib. Yo, daddy, this, woo, let me check him out. But it's different nowadays. The women go on prom by themselves, they go with guys, and the guys are like, yo, I don't want to touch those women because they see the images. All you do is turn on your social media. Why would I choose a woman who want me to do this and do that when I can look on Instagram and has a half naked women that I can just DM, and if I got some money, I can pay her for it, have a good time. Why would I need a relationship for?
Yeah, but who's setting the roles in the house? The script don't start on TV. The script starts in the house. You know?
Steve, ain't no such thing as that, Steve. I was 17 years old when I had my first child. No one taught me how to do X, Y, Z when it came to raising my kids. I'm still learning how to raise my kids. My kids just turned 18. I just turned 35. So you got to think, there's already, like the kids are raising kids even younger. Especially, I didn't wait until I was in my late 30s until I was already a man and knew how to navigate through life. No. So that means the younger generation, they're having kids younger, then their kids are going to have kids younger, and you're going to keep leading the system. Ain't no such thing as what the role was in the house. When I grew up, I seen my mom and my dad both going to work. It appeared they didn't have time to sit back and teach me the necessities in life and how to navigate. I just told my 18-year-old daughter today, she's going to graduate. I said, do you understand what's your report card when you about to leave school? I said, because school ain't nothing for you. I said, you know what your report card is now? She said, what is it? I said, it's going to be your asset and liability sheet. That's going to be your report card now that you're out of high school. Like, no one told me that, though. You get what I'm saying? Like, it took years of that, and I'm still, like, trying to figure out how to take whatever they giving me the crumbs and then make a meal out of it in the real world. Like, it's tough. It's very tough.
But do you not agree that the chains got to be broken at one point? You can't continue to carry the chains and keep them tied to you that was on you with your kids, your grandkids, and so forth and so on. The chains got to be broken. Somebody got to figure out that these chains got to be broken.
Yeah, but okay. So the thing is, right. When you say that, what most parents and what most people do is they talk about it, but don't show it. So now you create a hypocritical hole where you're sitting there telling your kids, oh, you should treat your woman like this, or oh, you should treat your man like this, and they're not seeing it. And the reason why they're not seeing it is because we didn't see it. So now, like, I gotta go teach you something I don't know nothing about. And the only reason you do have a little bit of clarity is because if you have a little sense, you say, okay, how can I be better? Right? Like, as a father, I don't show my son some of the things that were shown to me about choosing picking women. But now when I talk to my son about women, I say, look, son, be honest with you. First of all, you want to make sure the woman got good genes. Because my son want to be a basketball player. So you got to make sure she ain't got no ailments. And you got to make sure that you're talking to a woman that's speaking life into your dreams and the things that you would want to do in order to elevate yourself. These are lessons that was never taught to me.
Wait,
right?
Back up. I thought you said your son wants to be a basketball player.
Yeah, he is a basketball player. Correct.
Okay. But I'm not understanding.
So I'm telling him be with somebody that's gonna feed him to his dreams. Because when I asked him, he used to have a girlfriend. I said, what happened? He said, man, I picked the basketball up and I lost my girlfriend. And I said, that's probably good for you. Maybe you need somebody that's gonna be more supportive. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's tough, right? Because a lot of women are now living their dreams. So I gotta, on the same token, you gotta tell your son, well, you gotta also give that woman room to work on her craft and things like that.
Right. So it does sound like you do have a broken chain because you are elevating and trying to give directions.
Amen. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, but the part about it is, I look at it and at it realistically. It don't matter what I say. Once my son gets age and he starts feeling himself, because he already was dating women that I would consider not the type that he should be with, but that's what he chose because that's what he's around. So it's like, yeah, you can have all the sense in the world, but then get with a woman that don't have a bright future that you may be looking for, and you can still be misled or misguided. So it's still tough. I can't make the decision for him, and he's still gonna make the ones that's good at his heart.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And ain't nothing nobody can say, well, this is the role you should play. Like, because the only thing as a man I can tell my son is, hey, get up, go to work, take care of yourself, make you do the stuff that's necessary. But I can't say, hey, this is how you supposed to treat your wife, or this is how you supposed to, because honestly, I'll probably be lying, because I probably wouldn't feel that way, because I definitely don't feel like at no point should, especially in nowadays, that I'm supposed to acquiesce to a woman who would give way to the things that she will want to do. That's just not something I believe in. It's just not. But I can't inflict my core values on my kids because it's a different world. They have to learn how to navigate in the world that's being created for them. Like the old school way of a man, I'm macho, I'm number one, it's my way or no way.
Yeah, that shit dead. That's
and
dead.
You try to come into a world
That's
that
dead.
somebody gonna stop you. There's some gatekeepers out there now that's like, no, men not supposed to have that type of mentality.
Yeah, they
what
just.
give us our edge and make us be is our ego.
Yeah, they call that they call that toxic masculinity and the patriarchy, and they dismantling the patriarchy.
Let's go back to this then. Do you let the world and the streets raise your kids, or do you jump in and try to raise them? Because I get it.
No.
Nature versus nurture.
I get it. What you're saying,
age-old argument.
You can't tell them how to pick a woman. I don't quite understand. No, you can't tell them how to pick a woman. You could tell them that.
No, you can, but he gonna bump his head just like my daughter until they find the right one. And just because I'm telling it to him, that doesn't mean that somebody else. Like my thing is like even with my daughter, she's 18. I'm pretty sure she's dated guys before. I've never met not one guy she dated. Why? Because she knows that the guy she dated wasn't good up to the standards that her daddy would like for him to be. But women still gonna do that regardless. All these, this role, I guarantee you, they could tell you they probably dated a man that they did not bring around their father because they knew he wasn't quality. That's all I'm saying. So when you say who raising them, you can raise them at home good, but once they step outside that home, they still got to make a decision.
Yeah, but
there is a base. Like there is a base. I mean, I hate to get all scripture, but really, the scripture says that you train up the child in the way that they should go, and when they're old, they won't depart. So, our job really is to, by way of words and by way of acting, because when you have words without the action, or action without really explaining in words, there can be some confusion. They have to have both to where they understand what you're saying, seeing you do it, and also hearing you do it. And then when they're older, there's a default system that kind of pops in. I think somebody on here, I think it was Mr. Al, I don't know, you were saying something about, toxic women who they just going at it and, yelling at their man. And they probably that's only received. I think it was Stephen that was saying, that's what they probably saw from their father. They think that that's love when somebody is, so I'm just saying you have to show them. You also have to tell them, I'm telling you, Deontay, I hope I'm saying your name right, or whoever it was talking.
That's Guala Man.
Because listen, this TV is definitely raising our children. There's a lot of stuff on it's not just.
And that's why. Listen, that's why I always say that's my only point. Like, and I agree with everything because the base of the scripture. But let's just be honest. Again, I had a child at 17. I'm 35. I'll probably stepped inside of a church a good 20 times in my life. I've never made my kids go to church or do something that I wasn't about to do. I do believe in God. I do believe in spiritualism. I meditate and everything. but I refuse to like just go inside of a church because it just feel eerie in the church to me, right? But I also understand that Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat and all these other social sites are a leading cause of these kids being depressed. Why?
That's their Bible.
Because,
that's their Bible.
Right, that's all I'm saying.
Yep.
So when you see this stuff, like again, and this is that, just look at people my age. We are all hypnotized by our phones. Listen, I went to sleep, and I'm gonna leave right here, but I went to sleep one night. My youngest daughter is 11 years old. She was watching YouTube. This program, it was like 2 in the morning. The program looked at like a Roblox. On Roblox, the dolls were having a conversation. One of the dolls sounded like a man, and he was like, "I'm asexual. I like men and women." And the little doll was like, "Well, when you like men and women, you know, it's a man." It's like, "Yeah." It's like, "Oh, you don't like me anymore because I go both ways." And I'm just sitting there like, "What the hell going on?" And my child is asleep. But at the same time, I'm thinking like that's crazy because I believe in the radio waves and the frequencies. So she sleeps, and this frequency is what's going through her frontal lobe, and so it's like I get what everybody's saying, but all the demonic stuff that they be talking about with the third eye and the symbolism is so real, and they literally putting it out in front of us, and they saying, okay, what you gonna do about this? You saying we supposed to have enough power? We can't listen. I bet you everybody on this phone wakes up in the morning, and the first thing they do is touch their phone.
Alarm clock.
So, you see what I'm saying? But early in your alarm clock, first you might get on it, you might go to a text message, then you might go on YouTube, then you might. So now you started your day. The first thing as a teen, I'm hopping out the bed and I'm first hopping on social media, and then I see another girl who got all this phone on, all this weed on, and she got ass out, and she got 1,000 likes. Now she's better than me in likes because she has more likes and followers. Now something is wrong with me. I just had a friend who lost her 18-year-old nephew to suicide. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying social media played a role in it, but it definitely brings you down. And you know that's I'm gonna leave right there.
It ain't just that though. I can see it's also the videos, the music videos. It really is a whole. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying the only thing that I know really is that scripture. You are supposed to train them, but you are definitely going against a system that's different than when I was coming up. I did not have literally right now. I'm not playing with y'all. I was looking through Facebook. Facebook started doing this whole algorithm. It seems as if I'm not getting anybody that I actually know. I'm getting all these people that I don't know on my feed. So I'm trying to unfollow people and go to people that I know on their Facebook page and just like some of their things so that they can start coming back on my feed, right? That's what I'm trying to do. I get to one person. When I tell you, I say, why in the world do I even have this person as my friend? I went down maybe 20 videos down of another pornography. Now, somebody probably hacked their page. But I'm telling you, wow, pornography is right there. You don't have to go on another site. It's right there on Facebook.
Yeah, which sites do you use? Which sites do you use to view? Which sites do you use?
Trying to get your sites.
You don't have to go. I'm saying, I used to go.
Yeah, I'm saying, right. Which sites? What sites? Right. Which sites do you go to?
I get plenty of sites. Listen, I know people who know me.
Trying to get
Video. You have to go to a video store, but I'm telling my age. They had videos.
Had the curtain on the door. I said the one with the curtain on the door.
But I'm gonna say this. When it comes to the kids and they're using the social media and obviously it's their phones, do they have these jobs to paying for these phones? Because if they ain't paying for the phones, then you control the social media. And then you say, well,
that is not true.
Yeah, on the real, no.
You know how you do? Yes, you can.
That is not true.
You don't get them that phone.
Man, I'll say, yeah, I been say, boy, these kids hacking everything. They hacking it. What?
generation, man.
No, look.
On the real,
look,
no.
Check this out.
Mm-mm.
You know you got to get your kid a phone because of emergencies and everything. But if they can't manage like you want it to be managed, you better get them a flip phone. All it's gonna be is text messages and phone calls. That's all you need for emergency.
See,
That don't exist.
What
see,
is-
they
what
got kids, they got people rolling up in vans and snatching kids. See, you need to know where their location at. Flip phones don't do that no more, man. Don't rap.
Facts.
you better-
It's facts.
You need to call your kid on
That's a fact.
FaceTime and you need to see where they are located.
It's facts.
Okay?
They don't have like those little jacks
Cause I
that you
have
can put on.
parent control. They got parent controls. I have it on my 10 and 9-year-old because they go to the park, which is not far from my house. It's like 40 steps down. But they got parent control. I see everything they ever went on. What they it learns to be if they think about
Then
going.
there you go. There you go. That's how. That's Big Mama. Big Mama's looking.
I need to get that. But I'm telling you, my son, go get the app. My son was rejecting, forget a flip phone. He was rejecting a high-end Android because he was like, I'm not gonna, if you're not, me and
You're not finna follow me.
So he went for a long time without a phone, doing punishment on me. And guess what? I didn't know where he was. When he didn't come home, I didn't have no way to get in contact with him. It was all of this stuff when I called myself trying to put guardrails in place. This stuff, yeah, in this generation is a whole,
It's
you
different.
have to, somebody told me it's just like back in the day, you know how they had those little, guns that you have to put like a round bullet in there and then, and then try to shoot it like, yeah.
A musket.
A musket or something like, you can't fight in today's world with that gun or you gonna get killed. So you gotta come correct, for me, you gotta learn the culture of today, but you still gotta use other tools that are effective. And I'm telling by default, you gotta continually say the same thing, show them the same thing, and then find a way to fight against this culture. Just like, Barbara was talking about this whole app. I heard about that. I wanted to get it for my son's phone. I did not know how to get access. I think I will look again tomorrow just to see.
I will say,
Yeah.
you had a good point
It's
earlier.
hard.
You had a good point earlier about teaching, like my daughter, who she is and giving her knowledge of self. That's the most important, and that's part of what we've gotten away from. As we've started to lose our 60 and 70-year-old grandmothers in favor of the 40 and 30s. They don't know themselves, so they can't teach anybody how to find themselves, and we've gotten away from that. The center of everything starts with self. And in this lifetime, everything that you will create in terms of your output and everything that you bring in is all about self.
Right.
All about what you read, what you write, what you think, what you absorb on a daily basis, and all that becomes your output and what you will ultimately become in this world. And it all starts with self. So as a parent, it is incumbent on us to make sure that our children are affirmed daily, do have great self-esteem and self-worth, self-belief, right? And everything self in front of, so that they can become the greatest self possible and turn into the best human beings that we want them to be, and even then you still don't know, because every time they leave the house, this world will be in front of them more than you will be. So it's really one of those things where you really don't know. Like this age-old argument of nature versus nurture still exists today, and we're in a far more advanced society than it was before. So how do you, cultivate the type of children that you're actually looking for?
I would like to jump in on this conversation.
Yes, sir.
So, this is no thing, but if anybody was wondering, but how's it going, everybody else? But, I really believe that the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Islam is
who is that?
good for the black community becoming Muslim, because it creates repetition, it creates stability. If you look at how if you look at Jewish culture, you see they vibe with their culture. You see that the women on both sides follow the man, and then and also the kids follow what the man does. And a lot of times those groups tend to see we don't really have that stability in ours, because we got Protestant Baptist church. We got so many different churches.
Are you breaking up?
Different domains that it's hard. And in this church, we got two churches on the same corner, on the same street, and they don't rock with each other. You feel me? They don't. You know what I'm saying? That's why like the idea what I was saying was making a I'm not sure what 5 little threes, something like that, and bringing all 501s together for one central purpose. Because when you have
and we're gonna call it Peacebrook
church over here and a Protestant church over here, you're never gonna get people. You're never gonna get people to come on one accord. You know what I'm saying? In order to get people. So I think a lot of us black, we need to start thinking outside the box. We need to start being
Muslim.
You know what I was gonna say to that point too is the problem a lot of times too is that we broke. Not saying that money knows everything, but one of the main keys is the fact that we're spending an inordinate amount of time at a job, building businesses and lives for people who actually spend time with their family. I'm talking about white people. I always preach it, and I'm big on it because money, finance, all these things is really what matters more than anything. I think in 2023, all my parents on the phone of teenagers need to do. You want to create an example for your kid. Go start you a business. It doesn't have to be a hard business. I mean, it is many things you can do now. You can do Amazon FBA. You can do. Right now, I'm teaching myself forex, the foreign stocks exchange. You can do real estate. You can rent out your car to do Toro. Like one thing we need to show our children in the year 2023 and beyond is that you do not have to be slave to a culture. Like for years, we've been slaves to this culture. Money.
We were real slaves. What is he talking about? You talking about serious? We were slaves. Period.
Right? Well, I mean, true, for sure. But we don't have to stay slaves. So, I just say to our jobs. That's relatively what I mean in terms of the amount of hours and even years of our life that we can give to someone else without building something for us. Like a lot of people on this phone don't have a nest egg, don't have 6 months of expenses built up, but their teenager has shoes on their feet. Their teenager has $200 jeans on. Not in all cases. And when I say that, I'm talking about myself. That's just me. You know what I mean? I don't know how y'all spend for y'all kids, but man, wear expensive shit and I buy it for them, right? But so showing them that you can build a business or you can build a future or you can build something other than just continue. Like and I've been doing it for years. So my kids see it, right? It's not like it's something that they're like, okay, my dad just BS it, you know what I'm saying? They see me for years trying to build these things, but I think in 2023, that's what we really need. Like, to get the phone out your kid's hand, you need to show them something more than the west side of Chicago. Like, we have to get our kids out of these environments, and the only way we're going to do it is to go bring in some additional income. If you can bring in just $1,000 a month extra, that goes so far. In 5 months, you got $5,000. You can take your kid to a different state, get the phone out their hand by showing them something different. Putting them in activities. Me myself, I can't wait to not have a job so I can go do karate with my youngest daughter. You get what I'm saying? Like that will make her more enthusiastic about doing it. Sometimes the kids just, okay, you just put me in an activity to keep me busy. But if we do it together, but the only way we gonna do that, 2023, y'all, we gotta build. We gotta build. We got to build our finances up. The finances is going to help build our families. Because when you don't got to worry about a bill that's due, you can spend more time giving to your child emotionally. That's the reason why a lot of kids are acting the way they are. They don't really have a strong emotional tie to their their parents and things like that, because we haven't given it to them, because we haven't had the chance to sit down from our jobs.
Absolutely.
And I would like to talk to that. I was talking to a guy a couple of Sundays ago, and he was all dressed up. And he said, "Yeah, man, I'm looking like a rich man." I said, "No, you're not looking like a rich man. Rich people don't dress like that." But it's there. You know, the guy who got all the car washes, he wear blue jeans. He wear little sweaters. I've never seen this guy with a suit on, you know. And poor people buy expensive gym shoes and pants, jeans and stuff. But people with money don't do that. We have to change our mindset towards money. Sometimes I used to tell women, "You really make that dress look good." You know, it ain't the dress making them look good; it's them making the clothes look.
Right.
Where did it go, Tiny?
Tiny was getting all the brownie points. Come on. Oh, Barry, I called you the other day, man. You hate me, man. You ain't calling me back.
You talking to me?
Yeah, I called you the other day. I said, you hate me because you ain't called me back, man.
Oh, I just got back into town. First time I've been out, in 3 years.
Oh, great.
Just got back last night.
Oh, great. So that means we're going to see you at some meetings then.
I'm going to turn my video on so you can see me right now.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, Barry. We trying to see you at the 25th district meeting next week, man.
Man, this Zoom stuff is good stuff.
Come on, man.
We can save a lot of time.
Come on, man.
We can do so much more.
Man, we want camaraderie, man. We want membership, man. We want in person, man. We want to see you, man. We want to rub on your bald head, man.
Right here. If this is me, it's real.
Nah, man, that don't even look like you, man. I don't know. Yeah, that might. Nah, man. You say what?
Hey, Evie, are you feeling all right?
Miss Jacobs.
Yes.
Somebody's.
You doing okay?
I'm good. I'm good.
Retiring?
How are you today? How's everybody?
Retiring you out?
Huh?
Are we tiring you out?
No. I'm enjoying this conversation.
Good.
Well, let's get back to the parenting part. I agree that it takes money. I agree it takes time, but I think when you become a parent, you got to do everything you can. And I think Twin is saying the right thing. You know, you got to put in, you got to work for somebody and make some money, but you need to be working for yourself at the same time. And that's how you gonna make it. You got to do both. And once you become a parent, the sacrifices are not limited. You know, you got to just do everything you can. And I think you're on the right track. You know, I'm a total believer in showing young people something different. You know, if we got so much in Chicago to show them different. It's amazing. But
shit, we gotta show old people. Man, listen. First of all, some of these old folks ain't no good, man. Some of them need to go ahead and move out the way. When I was at the polls, let me tell y'all something. I was at the poll, and the lady got out, and the woman had a cane. She was 80-some-odd years old.
I need to know that.
Listen, the woman was 80-odd years old, man. She got out the car with a cane. She got out the car, and I said, excuse me, ma'am, do you know about the district council? She said, and I quote, fuck you. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. I said,
She got dementia. She got dementia.
man, everybody trying to hear that, man. No, because that old lady raised a generation of some of these idiots that's running out here right now. Period, man. And we constantly talk about young people and how difficult we are to deal with, but we got a lot of old people that's difficult to deal with. I don't know what it was, but at the end of the day, that woman got out the car and I was like, do you know about the district council? She, fuck you. I said, okay. Well, the district council is a position at the end of the ballot. It's newly elected. Yeah, I don't care. Like, but what I'm saying was she and as she kept walking, now she talking on the phone, right? So she's showing out because she kept walking as I kept trying to explain to her what the district councils were. She was like, "Shut the fuck up, fuck you." She said it again,
Right.
and then she was on the phone like, "Girl, you know how I am, motherfucker, trying to tell me who to vote for. I ain't, you know what I'm saying?" I'm like, okay, so I left it alone. When she came out, I said, "Well, I just hope you voted for the right person." She said, "Go to hell." I said, "Ma'am, I'm just trying to ask you, I ain't even did nothing to you." And as she was getting in the car, I said, "You know what? I feel you are my elder, and I'm supposed to." And I said, "The way that you're talking to me is so disrespectful, and it's really." I forgot exactly how I put it, but I'm just saying, like, it's really messed up that we're having this type of exchange when I did nothing to you. She just got in the car and drove on about her way. But I'm just saying, man, like, we're not finna keep always talking about young people and how difficult we are to deal with when we got a bunch of young idiots old idiots out there too. Some of them need to go ahead and move out the way.
See, well, I had to tell you, that might have been your lucky day because you might have been the 100th person on her body count. Because she was looking to kill you. She was looking to kill you, boy. That was Ma Barker right there.
DeAndre,
Yeah.
keep breaking up. You see that? DeAndre, I'm going to tell you about my neighbor. I thought my neighbor, God rest her soul, she did pass. But before she passed, she did a whole lot of cussing. And I said something to my other neighbor was in between our age. So I'm like almost 50. My other neighbor like in her 70s. And this lady was in her, late 80s. And I told her, I don't know why she so much. She's like, oh, she don't do that to me. She only do that to you. I think what she's trying to do is show that she's down. Does that make sense? Like, she's thinking because I'm younger that, like, the profanity is the end thing. I don't know. But the person that you were talking to, it seemed like they just had an issue that you could let them slide, no matter what age they are.
Man, hell no, man. No. I don't want to hear that. I don't know. Listen, I am tired of us always defending that type of behavior. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, then I would have been all type of wrong. Ain't no letting that woman slide. Because even the 4 women that went in before her stopped and turned around and looked at her like, damn, like, he ain't even. And then when they came out from voting for me, they was like, baby, I don't know what, that shouldn't even happen to you. I'm sorry that she did that to you. Period. So no, we're not finna take up for that woman. She shouldn't have did that. That was fucking ignorant.
So let's just say.
But that has to be a psychological issue. So see that?
No, I'm not. Hell no, I'm not going with that.
What if it was a younger person said all that to you?
No, they wouldn't have though. They wouldn't have though, cause I'm a big man. Shit, you ain't finna. Don't nobody talk to me like that.
You don't know what she had on her.
Man, listen, I don't get disrespected.
You don't know what she had.
I don't get disrespected though. Ain't nobody ever talked to me like that.
You don't know.
But you gotta learn how to take it. Is all I'm telling you.
And I did. All I did was kept trying to talk to her. But no, but
your battles, sir. You can pick and choose your battles. Don't let it drain you of your energy because there's another voter right around the corner that you will be able to reach. The ones who are unreachable, then guess what? Blank them too. Bye. I don't, so for me, when the lady went off on me, me and the rest of the volunteers, I just said, just keep it moving. There's another door. There's another door. So yeah, some folks are like that.
No, so listen,
Nah.
Nah. What I'm saying is we need to hold our seniors accountable because they are idiots as well. We not finna always hold our youth accountable and talk about the things that they do when we got some dumb ass old
differently because you're in a different light. You feel me? You're financially sound. You're doing things. You buying houses. You moving around. You're talking to important people. You're in this dominant frame. You could be silly. You could be goofy, but I just feel like they haven't respected black men in so long. And don't get me wrong. Every race of men get disrespected women. That's period. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying this is all black women. You feel me? I love black women, but there is an issue, and I think we just not powerful enough. You ain't gonna see no Muslim woman, Arab, or let's just say Arab woman talking to a man like that. Nice. They even respect men that's not their husband. I remember when I was in school, I bent down to top shoe. The Asian woman got up. And I'm like, wait, what, oh, my bad, did I hit your knee or something? She's like, no, it's just my culture. When a man bends down, we stand up. We can't never be. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah. So it's a hierarchy there. And I just think women has lost perception. And, we always say, oh, women, they strong black woman. Only because you single, you strong black woman. We got to stop that. No, you're just a black woman. Everybody got strengths. You feel me? Everybody got strengths. I just think we lost power over these women.
I think one of the things.
Let me say this one. Women choose men. Men don't choose women.
We pick though.
We choose who we marry though.
We pick. Women choose. We pick.
Ain't no man gonna we pick the wife.
We pick. Yeah, we pick.
But I also. So I agree with you, Tiny. 100.
Yeah. I will say, just as I was saying, which Mosaic touched on, there is a lack of respect in general from both sides, and more often than not, we talk about it coming from the youth. And I'm just saying that it also comes from the older generation too. And we got to acknowledge that more and more, because that is how we start to repair the divide. I don't know what that woman was on that day. But all I know is all I tried to do is introduce her to the district councils, which to that point, majority of the people that walked up had heard of it at all. Yes, I was trying to electioneer and make sure she voted for DeAndre, but at the end of the day, I wanted to make sure you knew about the district council that was going to appear at the end of your ballot. You know what I mean? And for me, I'm just like, nah, that's just total disrespect. And that's one thing that I don't like. There's two things I don't like: is somebody underplaying my intelligence and somebody disrespecting me, because that's one of my core values. I respect everything until we ain't no respect no more. You know what I mean? So that's just how it is.
Well, at the end of the day, the disrespect went back on her because you didn't buy into it.
No, I never will though. Can't nobody get me off my square. I learned that when I got kicked out of Howard for hitting the man with the bat. Shit, like I be people that know me know, like there was a time where we was different. That's what I'm saying. I'm not worried about a young person that like I don't even do the tongue wrestling no more. We don't tongue wrestle. We don't finger box. The golden rule is you put your hands on me, you got to take them off. That's it. That's the only thing that we doing. So it don't matter to me. You know, I ain't gonna let these people get me off my square. But you know what I mean, like that's
So,
like we got to be respectful.
Was that the first older person that ever went off on you like that?
In that instance, yeah. In that circumstance, yeah. It ain't never happened though. It ain't never happened.
Well, we know
But it's gonna always be more than likely a black woman that's gonna disrespect a black man because they don't value us.
You think so?
I value black men. I value black men, and I know you're not talking about all black women, but I still say that you pick and choose your battles. When I look at it through my lens, would still say there are respectful people that are, you know, I don't want to say crazy, but people who are just, you know, I would say there's, I don't know, not thinking with their right mind out there who are older than you do those that are younger. So I'm just saying, when you look at it, I come to say this. So Liz, they probably been rude the whole time.
Okay. There's rude people in all ages.
I just don't have all you don't think? You don't think she was DeAndre?
Yeah, but see, I think he walked off. But see, at the same time, the man telling you what happened, and you're trying to you have to realize, and I'm holding you accountable. You're defending this woman cursing this man out. You're trying to rationalize. You're sitting up here trying to rationalize. Oh, do you think she was just old and Gina? She just was in her period?
Man, listen, that woman was on the phone. Listen, that woman was on the phone and she told somebody.
You think that he should have gone toe to toe and back to back with her? My last thing that I'm saying is that. Well, everybody got their own thing. I just say you pick and choose your battles.
Well, no. Listen, again, I never engaged. It was not. Let me be clear about my point. My point is not to talk about that woman and what I would have done or should have done. It was only for me because I'm just saying that we have seniors in our community who are also idiots, and we have to start to acknowledge that a lot more. We don't do that enough. We got and them idiots have raised a generation of idiots. And we always talk about the youth and where they are in the situations that they're creating that are hostile environments for all of us to grow up in. Because a lot of this conversation, largely, we're talking about younger people outside of when we were talking about policing and domestic violence. But we rarely, if ever, bring up our old idiots in the community that continue to allow these things that
you know why?
that created them.
You know why? What's the difference between an old idiot and a young idiot?
The younger one got more time.
Yeah, but the real deal is the old idiot never learned. The younger person had. That's why I was going with earlier that if you're young and you get introduced to new environments and new things, you'll learn it. You'll adapt. You'll pick it up. You'll make some good choices. But when you old, you ain't doing shit with nothing, because it is what it is, and you ain't gonna change them. They got less days in front of them than they got behind them.
Right.
So guess what? You ain't gonna do nothing about that. But when you're young, people tend to say you have time and you can experience and you can try these things and you can adapt to and make your life a little different and better.
Right.
And you gotta always think that way. Now, if you're an older person and you're young at heart and in mind, you still have that possibility. But most often, older people don't think like that. They don't have a young heart or a young mind.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah, Elise. Don't take up for that woman. She wasn't having a bad day. She just wanted to be an idiot.
I'm trying to give you tactics into how not to chase somebody who I feel.
Oh no, I don't.
I categorize as a crazy.
I don't.
I think he did the right thing.
I don't chase crazy. I don't. If you tell me, you coming off, goes, I don't know how you say it. I'm just gonna keep it moving. There are other voters that are
No,
waiting to
I
listen
think
to
I
me.
think he
That's all
did.
I'm trying to
I
say.
think he did the right thing. He gave his message. He gave some advice. He took some criticism and some heat. And it's like, I'm gonna tell you, that stuff don't do nothing but make you stronger. When somebody going off on you and you run away, it's like, no, you need to hear this. Because life ain't about everything you want to hear. It ain't gonna never be about what you want to hear. It's about a multitude of things. We sit here and listen to Monk, and this, and he tried to turn the United States into a Muslim country. It ain't gonna never be a Muslim country. But I get him. I totally get him. You know, I get him. I totally
You
get him.
can. I just protect my peace. Like you said, Stephen, the way I look at it, people who are like that, I call them the older crazies, you know, and I'm trying to think of another word, but I just call them crazies, and I apologize if that's disrespectful for anybody, but, you know, for me, when I look at it, you're not going to change their mind. There's literally nothing that I can say, unless it's just, you know, to make me feel great, but I feel great going to the next person, because I'm out there for a purpose. And I don't let nobody sway me for my purpose. My purpose, when I was out there on the election, is to get to my next voter. I want people to vote for me. If you gotta make me chase you, there are two other people I'm missing because I'm trying to get you. I just keep it moving.
But you gotta
But you ain't
understand.
the wrong way. He did what he had to do. You ain't gonna change their mind.
I mean, he's in the right training ground. Let me just say this.
All kind of people go old.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
You know,
All types of people.
People grow old. It's not like the smart people grow old.
Facts.
You know?
Facts. Right.
Amen.
Right.
Right. If you're
Right.
if you're lucky,
Right.
if you're lucky,
Right.
you know.
If you lucky.
But the real deal is, I'm gonna tell you, I think DeAndre's come. Man, I've known this man, almost 8 years now, or more.
Something like that.
More than that, almost. And he's come a long way. Trust me. I've seen him in situations. I've seen how he told me this story the other day, and I had to sit there and listen to it. And I listened to his rebuttal, and I was like, he did the right thing. He closed it with an idea that, you know, this is not really right what you're doing, man. Now,
Yeah, that's it.
She could take that home and utilize it, or she can throw it away. But the next time she sees somebody, she may think a little different.
Man, let me tell y'all, man, that ain't even the instance. Listen, I went, and Steve know what I'm talking about. So it was a community person we went on a trip with. The woman got all crazy with me, man. She called me all type of fat motherfuckers, this and that. You know, all I told her, you know, God bless you, God gonna take care of you. You know what I mean? Listen, and that woman was 60 years old. That woman was my grandma as well. At the end of the day, I've continued to counter old idiots when doing community-based work and trying to be involved in politics. They have yet to deter me, and they won't sway me at all. I understand that we got old idiots, but what I'm saying is we got to start acknowledging that. And when we talk about these young people that's going astray, we got to talk about these old idiots that's leading them astray too.
Hey, Tiny, tell him. He just don't know. When he get to be old, he gonna look to the left and the right of him. He gonna see some idiots that his age did too.
Man.
DeAndre gonna be a funny one. I know that already.
Oh, man, let me make 75. Boy, I'm dropping all type of cuss bombs, saying whatever I want to whoever I want. Straight up.
Well,
don't
you
man.
know what?
And if you're lucky, DeAndre, when you get to be 75, you'll think you're a young person.
Oh, man.
Your person will be 95.
Nah, man, listen. I'm gonna take my place. I'm gonna take my place as an old man. I'm gonna take my place as an old man and try to look for some young people that I could steer in the right direction, man. That's it. That's all I want to do as an older person. I don't want to be trying to work. I don't want to be trying to be in the way. I want to be able to enjoy my money and raise up some people that in the right direction. That's it.
There you go. That's good.
That's it. Period. That's it, man.
Yeah, different strokes for different folks. I talk to my neighbors, and they're like, that's what keeps them. They just want to stay active. You know, when they sit at home and they want to be in the midst of some activity just so that they feel like they're still making a contribution. It makes them active. It keeps their brain active.
No. I feel you. I want to be active too. Like, you could put me on some boards, or you could, you know what I mean? but mostly I just want to be in a reserve role. Like I want to be a mentor. What is it? What does it say? Game is being guidance, being advice, being a mentor, being an educator. I want to give out the game. I want to give out guidance, advice, mentorship, and education when I'm that old. That's the only thing I should be doing. I shouldn't be trying to be in the way of anybody that's on the come up, because that's me just trying to be I don't know what they call founder syndrome and shit. I'm getting out the way, but I'm gonna get a game out though. Guidance, advice, mentorship, and education.
I mean, listen, the problem with that thinking is at the end of the day, when you a king, you a king. Kings don't give up no position. They down, they swore. See, the thing is, you always talk about moving out the way. That's not the way this thing go. When you really out trying to build something, you never want to sit to the side and let somebody else build it, no matter what you keep saying. That's not the way it go, bro.
That's why where we at now, though.
You didn't say that. You didn't say when you said after you built it.
Facts.
Right. He didn't say
Get out. Well, that's why where we at now.
But see, hold on though. But this the thing though. I agree. I agree with Drippy Longside. You feel me? I agree because you know
That's Guala. That's Guala man.
But I agree because you have to think about, you know, one of the greatest things that happened to this country was in his 70s, and that's Trump. You feel me? We need it, and we need him again to bring stability back, to bring the stock market back, to bring jobs back. You feel me? Sometimes an old man with some pizzazz and spice is needed. You feel me?
Yeah.
Again, all the great leaders stay in power for a long time too. So you know what I'm saying? Don't give up your juice that bad. You just feel. Look at the congressman. He's still sturdy. He still get busy. I seen him on that CCTV with you and
Shorty.
Angela Green.
Yeah.
Boy, I swear, I'm like, oh man, congressman, oh yeah, he got that youth in him. He's still moving around, getting busy. Like what? Oh yeah, I still get busy. You still gotta get busy, bro.
Yeah, but man,
when you get that age, though, you be disconnected, though. You're not really in the mix, though. You feel me? You can't. At 80, at 80, you can't.
They gonna bow down to you.
I had to tell you this,
It's
man.
about power, bro.
I had to tell you this, but it's changing. It's changing so much. You know how many 100-and-something-year-olds we got in our neighborhood now?
Yeah,
We got a lot
people
of
living longer for sure,
100-year-olds, man, and they moving. You know, so like Barry said, that trajectory changes when you get to certain ages. You know,
and the name of the game is to get old.
Right.
Okay. And I only feel old when I try to live things or stuff. I don't think it. You know, I think like I'm a young person. I think.
Right.
Right.
I think the name of the game is to get rich and old. Get rich and old. So that way you ain't gotta lift nothing. You can just pay somebody to lift it for you. Give your house a little bit of money.
Tiny gonna be like, lift that 50-pound weight 100 times.
Rich and old.
I love it.
Lift that 100-pound weight 100 times.
You're rich and old.
He gonna pay you.
Hey.
Barry, I saw you came up. What you was finna say, Barry?
Hey guys, so seems to me when you meet somebody you can't connect with, don't categorize them because they've got 100 stories and 100 categories, and so when you pick one of those categories, it just is misleading. People are something else. I mean, it's a complex world, and hopefully you can help somebody, and if you can help them, then maybe you can learn from them.
Yeah. That's all you can do. You can just learn from them in the situation.
Yeah.
But I must tell you, if you're in the game of politics or you're in the public's eye, let's just say in the public's eye, you have to understand how to build thick skin. If you don't know how to build thick skin, you're gonna be the most whiningest, cryingest person out here complaining this about it. Hey, he talked to me, he looked at me, he told me they don't like me, they didn't give me a. You gotta keep it moving, and you gotta even that person.
Yeah.
You gotta look at how can I help that person. They might not be the first one on the list, but you still gotta look at how can you help that person.
Yeah.
Because right now we dealing with an alderman. I'm gonna bring that up.
Yeah.
That happens to be the thinnest skinned alderman in the city. If you ask me, you can't say nothing.
Hold on, wait.
Wait. Oh, yeah. Good.
No.
He
No.
happens to be the what? I didn't hear. He happens to be the what?
The thinnest skinned person that I think in the city. If anybody say anything, you told me, like, come on, man. Why you in this seat? If you can't take criticism, if you can't take criticism, you better be like a little fairy where you can touch something and give everybody what they want. Because it ain't gonna happen like that. You have to be able to appease those that need to be appeased and work with those that ain't trying to work with you. That's it. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. I learned a real strong lesson with my first run. And I had my social media going, and a lot of people kept jumping on my comments talking about Emma was gonna beat me. They was like, I don't know who he is, young man, and I don't care. Emma for 37th Ward. and I kept replying, like, you know what I mean, like getting down on him. And the guy that was moderating my page kept calling me up, like, hey, DeAndre, I don't think you want to say that. I'm just gonna take that comment off. and so, but
did it remove it?
Yeah, he kept removing it because, like, you know, I was responding negatively. Man, who the fuck is you? Fuck you. I'm gonna win, right? Boo, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, no, you don't want to respond like that. So, but what I'm saying is, like, you gotta learn though. But that's how I can take these type of people treating me the way that they treat me in politics and socially, and just shake it off.
You said you had a moderator?
Yeah, I had a moderator. Yep.
You had to pay for that?
No, it was the guy that helped set up my account that was running my ads for me. He was moderating the page.
But let me just tell you.
Y'all hear that? So he was running ads, and he was able to pay for somebody to correct his behavior. Y'all go get y'all some money and pay for somebody to correct y'all bad behavior.
Yeah, on the real shit.
That helped him to not be in his feelings and taught him a whole lot.
No, it did though. It did.
No, I said he had some money.
I heard you.
But you know what?
But he said he did it for free.
Let me say this though.
Moderating the page because of the ad.
No, he had to pay for the ad, so he had to have a moderator. He took money.
Got it.
Let me say this. He didn't have enough money.
Get some money.
Let me say this. He didn't have enough money. He didn't have enough money because the alderman came to me and she said, "Hey, Steve, what's going on with your guy? He got the little jazzy mouth." I said, "What you talking about, alderman?" She said, "I gotta think about it."
You know what? No. What that say is, it ain't about the money. You still worried to even ask. If you got the money, if you got the power, if you gotta go call somebody to ask what you got, oh, you scared.
No. She didn't call me. We were in the presence of each other. But the thing was, whatever it wasn't too tight on her mind. Because I said, "So what did he say? What did he do?" She said, "Well, give me a minute. I gotta think about it. It was something, but it wasn't right."
It was social media. Nah, I told y'all the one offense for my whole campaign that Emma took was I took a picture. It was a sign. It was her and Tara Stamps, and it was surrounded by trash. And I said, "All right, y'all, if y'all vote for either of these people, this is what y'all got to look forward to for the next 4 years. A bunch of trash."
That's
and
clean politics to me. That to me just
but listen, that was the one thing out of my whole campaign that woman didn't like. That was it. That was the one thing.
That really wasn't bad.
It wasn't that bad, but that was the one thing that she didn't like.
I don't even think it was any kind of bad. That to me is very clean politics. That was a good.
That's clean, but yeah, she didn't like that though. She didn't like that I called.
I would have went deep.
She didn't like that I called her leadership trash. That's all.
Everybody got their own opinion. They take everything differently, and it is well. She probably got some other for whoever. I'm just telling you, like, I would probably do that. I mean, actually, you see that in other wards. You see people saying that in other wards. That's what I hear being said over and over, which, by the way,
Well,
makes me, I don't ever see all of this trash being cleaned up, even though
Right.
it's something that changed.
Right? Shit. They sure came and got them signs the next day quickly, might I add.
Yeah, well,
Shit.
they got them in areas they shouldn't even touch. They
Man.
were cleaning up places up north where they weren't even supposed to touch them.
Latrice?
Say again.
Hey, man, this is such a good conversation. I've been trying to get on. Can you all hear me?
Oh, yeah. You got to just jump in. It's like double dutch.
That's the tree. She calling from Texas.
I never could double dutch even when I lived in Chicago. I was always tripping over every damn thing. But I am so glad to be on with you all and hear the conversation. And I just and DeAndre, I know at the last time I was on here, I think you were running or considering running.
Oh, no, I won.
And,
I won. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever did that or was.
I won.
I don't know what happened.
Quick applause.
No, I'm saying I won. Thank you.
Oh, well, hey, that is excellent. I am so excited. And let me just say, as I was listening to the conversation, every time somebody, and I've been an elected official here in Texas and all that kind of stuff, and I would tell you that, what makes me sick about the whole political game is that people begin to change who they really are to fit in, and then they don't do a damn thing. And so for me, if I have to ease my personality to sit in an office or even to run for an elected office, I don't want it. And as you are campaigning, you are literally thrust into an arena that is really like being fit into sharks, because people who are for the other person or for the opponent or people who have never liked you, this is their opportunity to say whatever they want to say and feel like your mouth is being handcuffed.
Yeah.
And so I have always been one that even if somebody is older, and I'm almost as old as the Bible now, I'm about 12 days to my birthday. But I will tell you that I don't care if an older person ever came into my arena. I think the young people definitely have to respect their elders. But if an older person came into my arena, even if they was in a wheelchair and half their face was blown off, and they came talking crazy to me, they were going to get it. They were going to get it.
Man, listen.
At this point,
I like that.
We have to learn to speak truth to people regardless of who they are. And you can be respectful, but if you're going to cuss me, I may try to refrain from cussing you back, but the likelihood of that happening is not good. And so, I just say, we have got to get away from having people who get into office and get painted and don't do anything for all the crazy that is going on all over the world. And so I really feel that when you talk about running for office, getting in office and stuff like that, the campaigning process is hell. It's egregious for sure. But you have to demand respect at every level. And even if it means that you have to go toe to toe with someone, that's just what you have to do. They're going to write about you anyway, good, bad, or whatever. They're gonna make that narrative be what they want it to be. And so you have to address people in a way that they address you. You can do it with politeness, but you also have to be firm. And you shouldn't have to change who you are just to get in office. And so I just want, this is a great conversation, and
You're right.
I'm interested to know how you all feel about one of the main reasons I just joined, because I really wanted to see how you all felt about the mayor not getting reelected, or conceded. I think she conceded. So that's the interesting thing. She came to Austin.
And I know that one of the things that she did that was really a good thing was put a lot of emphasis on reentry, and that's my lane. And so I thought that was a good thing. But other than that, I've heard she's been not very effective. And so I just wanted to hear what you all's thought process was about that. And hi, Miss Jacobs, Edie, good to see you.
Hey, how are you? I need to hear from you.
I'm doing good. I just got back from San Francisco and Los Angeles on business. So yeah, I'm doing good. I can still pay my bills to the dude that was talking about money. You ain't lying. We gotta have it.
Okay.
I don't need to be rich. I just want to be able to pay my bills and have a little bit of money in savings, but I don't need to be rich. I know that's right.
Can I say something about the mayor, why I didn't vote for her?
Go for it.
I often said that we have a mental health center, 3019 West Harris, and the governor has 5 people he can give us an okay, and the mayor has 4. And we've been trying to get Mayor Lightfoot to okay a person that we want to have on our commission since April, and she has ignored us. I've written her, I've called out to her office, I've talked to people, and it won't cost her any money. All she had to do is just say okay, and she wouldn't okay it. And we're talking about mental health on the west side, something that's a big problem. And she ignored it. That's why I didn't vote for her.
Well, let's talk about the mayor.
Let me say this too. I have something, and I've shown DeAndre how I make money with this. Novatech. If you want to be old with money, talk to me. I got a way. I'll explain it to you.
You can't be young with money? Like,
you
old?
No. I'm saying this is it's kind of a new thing. It's only like about 4 or 5 years old, but I've doubled my money since August. And I'm sure DeAndre. Haven't I, DeAndre?
Yeah, I seen it.
He just said old with money because one of the callers said, that's how you're gonna have to be in life.
Yeah, you got to be old with some money.
With money. But no,
especially if you want to reach the young cats.
Let's address the mayor. So my take on the mayor is she came in, she stepped on a lot of people's toes that worked for the city because they didn't like her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And then now I'm hearing that Tiny didn't like not hearing from her, so that he didn't like her mouth not talking. So I'm saying I think she came into a city that had a lot of issues. It had to be handled. But I'm gonna say this, Tiny, the West Side got a lot of love. I don't care what nobody say. We ain't had this much love since Harold Washington, and I doubt if we're gonna ever see it again. Unless we get the right person in there.
Lori was. I would also. Lori's biggest challenge was her own ego. Somebody likened her to the black female Donald Trump in terms of her narcissistic ways. And I couldn't disagree with that because Lori thought, as she eloquently stated, she had the biggest cock in Chicago, and she act like that, and a lot of her rhetoric was around being a black female that was gay, and she had to act that way. And whether that's true or not, nobody will ever know until we get another black female in office and see if that person gets a lot further without having that type of personality. She did a lot of great things, though, for both the south and west sides of the city, as well as her shepherd. She shepherded the city throughout the pandemic, I thought, in a good way. I wouldn't say it was the best, but it was a really good way. Although, again, her mishaps were in how she treated the black community, especially its youth, on film in terms of saying, y'all should be in the house when up north the white folks was outside every damn day sitting on grass. I remember that, man, on the real. And for that, the youth didn't care nothing for her. You know what I mean? And her insistence on not allowing Donald Trump to bring or utilize the National Guard when we possibly could have used. I ain't saying we needed them. But that was an option, and then somebody else broached it, and then she was thinking like, well, maybe I should, and so there was a lot of divisiveness in the way that she led the city in general, and that was ultimately her undoing. It was never anything that this woman would have a second term if she wasn't so divisive towards the people that supported her, towards the people that worked for her, and to the people ultimately that were trying to get her reelected. And that's just what the truth of the matter is.
And I'm gonna say a hearty A to the man, and that's how I feel.
That's it.
I mean, I like that Lori Lightfoot. I thought she was a soldier. She was a gangster. This is a gangster city. The cops are gangsters and the politicians is too. And hey, she did it her way. And you might have got cussed out. I like Lori.
Well,
Interesting.
like I said, the South and the West Side got plenty of love. I want to say they put at least $250 million in on the West Side. What do you say?
Yeah. Yep.
At least $250 million.
Sure. I mean, the Cop Academy itself, but that was a ROM project, but still, that was 130 somewhere around there. This joint up here was about
it might be a half
25
billion.
to 50.
It may be a half billion.
Yeah.
When you look at the facility.
Yeah.
And then man, I'm just saying. Yeah, Tiny, that's unfortunate that she didn't pick up on the mental health center that you guys got started. But I don't know. I think maybe it should have been another way to get into her on that one, because she didn't have to put out any money on it. But I don't know. I don't know why she didn't get back with you on it. But no, Lori's gone and come and gone. So hey, we got to look at what's gonna happen next. And all I know is all politics are local and all politics are based on interest. And we right now are looking at the interests of the 29th Ward.
Yeah.
And we're looking at that's the locality of it all, or the local location. And the interests are the people in that ward going into a runoff with this current alderman. And then
runoff from the
make it
man.
happen.
Yes, sir.
Which one of them is a Republican?
There's no Republican.
This is not. It's not like that.
I might have to go. Yeah, I might have to go that way.
Yeah, well, you gonna be waiting. You'll be waiting.
I mean, it's time to bring the Republic back. Black people, we come from Republic. We are conservative people. We're not Democrats. By nature, we are bootstrap Americans. Our forefathers will be very mad at us in this condition, how we cater to the Democratic Party and how they do us and how they got black people in America.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
yeah.
But you gotta also say the Black American of today, was he the same black person in Africa? Think about that.
Oh no, I'm glad we left Africa. That was one of the best things that happened. I like America.
But that's all I'm saying. Things evolved and they fuse together and they change and they become one and then they separate again. And I mean, I always had this theory about people. I always said that a daughter doesn't want to be just like her mother, and a son doesn't want to be just like his father. They always think they could be better. Or different. My dad wore penny loafers. I'm not wearing penny loafers. Then 5 years later, they got the same thing on, but a different type of penny loafer.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to break away from their tribe, and that's what's been going on since the beginning of mankind. Everybody's trying to find and break away from their tribe. That's why when DeAndre is talking about a 501c4 and being the umbrella of, it was all fine when NAC, NAO, SAC, and Mid-Austin all came under the umbrella of each other when they first started in 1972. But they had their own areas and they had their own territories and they did their own things and they came together when they needed each other. But when you start talking about, hey, all y'all gonna give us your money and we're gonna hold it, I don't know if that would have worked right then. or with the organizations, or even now. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
That's why I said, I mean, the easiest way to rectify that is to have everybody vote on one person to hold the money and disseminate it. If everybody has a consensus about who they like, then nobody be able to hold the money.
Right. Yeah. And then you got to have somebody that makes sure the work is getting done properly also.
It's all right, y'all. We about to get ready to wrap it up anyway. I see people starting to jump off. Y'all already know how we do this thing. We go around the room and just get final thoughts from everybody. So we're gonna start on the Zoom. Tiny, what you got?
Well, let me first say I still wear penny loafers.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, and stuff like last week or the last time I was on, we were talking about black inventions.
Yeah.
Black people invented everything like the incandescent bulb, mop, the broom, even the lower, like when they lower caskets to the ground. We invented that.
Man.
Water fountains, all these things. And we never got paid for them. And so what I thought of is we should have a tax, okay, a reparation tax on all of the things that black people invented and never got paid for. We should put a 5% tax on anytime you buy that. That won't take any money from the people who are already making money on it. And it's just when people use what we invented, they should pay a tax on it. And when Quinn was in office, he made a law that said if you get 8% of the previous election, you can put a referendum on the ballot. And I would like to put a referendum on the ballot for a reparations tax on all the inventions that black people made.
Wow.
Yeah, we should get behind that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Wow, that was interesting. Yeah.
No, that
That's-
ain't gonna work. You gotta prove lineage of slavery. There's too many mixed breeds and other things that's involved in immigrants and people. Like, you gotta be a foundational Black American. You have to be from that person's lineage. I can't get nothing off Marcus Garvey or Frederick Douglass or any of these great.
I ain't saying that. He's saying that it's written down in different places, all the inventions that we invented. Well, I'll get
No, hold on. Don't say we. It's those people, they invented it. We didn't invent those things. We can't take credit for things that those people did.
Why not?
Because they did it, and I think their families, their descendants deserve it. Now, I don't deserve that. I deserve what the Anderson family got, who did, and they pardoned slavery. That's what I deserve. I don't deserve what your ancestors did. I don't know. But see, that is the democratic mindset.
I think we deserve to be paid back for anything that black people invented and we didn't get paid for.
So I deserve money from Bad Boy Records because black people invented it. All right, cool. AC, I deserve some money from NAC now. I deserve some money.
Oh my
I hate
God.
to tell you, but I hate to tell you this, but the white people invented NAC.
Oh man.
It wasn't black.
Oh, dang.
Man, let me get Elise in here, man. She got to drop off, and then I'm gonna get Latrice. Elise.
Well, you coming to me, I'm gonna start some stuff up with Mosaic. I love you and your opinions. I love the fact that everybody on here got a strong opinion, but I am for reparations. I am for it 100%.
Yeah, we got to figure it out.
There are too many people who have made money off of our backs for free while keeping us locked up in a black box. So yeah, I do believe that the country, the whole country, and I am, by the way, I'm in between a Democrat and a Republican. I'm not just a Democrat. Is that how you said Democratic, whatever?
Oh, you're a Republican.
I'm in between because I see I'm my own person. I have my own views. I have my own opinions. And if I had to do things, it would be a least way. So
Yeah.
it's not, it don't fall in the D or in hard.
The new electorate, there's too many of us just like you. And I'm saying I'm just like you as well. The new electorate, we need to figure out how to start to gain power for ourselves and try to figure out what that means for our community. because 65% of the people in Chicago did not vote, and that's because either Democrats or Republicans are the ones that's chasing them, and neither one of them can get their votes. So we got a whole base that we need to go after.
I'm gonna have to hit you in the head on that one. I don't see Republicans chasing black people.
I mean, I'll say conservatives though. Conservatives.
Okay, well,
however you want to put it.
Conservative is, you can have conservative everybody, but when you say the Republicans and put an R on it, they've never really pulled, in our direction. They don't want us in their party.
Yeah, that's because they know that the Democrats give us stuff, and they've created a culture of dependency, and they're not willing to do that. So they're not going to come chase us because Democrats are the only ones willing to open the coffers and say, "Hey, here's a social program, so y'all ain't got to so y'all can stay on your ass." Republicans ain't gonna do that.
Not just that. There's a lot of racism in that party with the rhetoric.
No, it's racism wherever white people at. It's racism in the Democratic Party.
That's definitely true, but you're gonna see a whole lot more of it when you come to the Republican Party.
Yeah, I agree.
Look at what's going on in Florida. Look at what's going on in Florida. Where they're literally saying we don't want no black books. Can't have them. Get them out the schools. Don't need that.
Yeah, but at least they saying it though, Steve.
I like my racism overt and not covert.
No,
I like my racism in my face.
No, you don't. No, you
Straight
don't.
up.
Because when you in the South and they doing it, you gonna sit back and go, man, I can't do. Then you gonna get checked. Because I'm telling you ain't been down there.
No. See, I'm a city boy.
No. We had this conversation. I told you we had this
I'm coming
conversation.
down there as a jive turkey talking. You gonna have to shoot me.
Well, they're gonna have a turkey
Come
trot.
on.
They're gonna have a turkey trot.
I'm coming down there with spring chicken.
Latrice, I wanted to get Latrice.
You gonna be the new inventor. Hey, he gonna be the new inventor of a noose. That's what they're gonna do.
Again, I'm just always honored just to be on with you all. It grounds me every time to get on with some home folks. If I can just say that, I miss Chicago a lot just because of the realness of many of the people that are there, and so I'm just glad I was able to join on. I kind of just want to say this about the Democrat-Republican thing. Both the Democratic Party has become so worthless. They have a hidden racism within it, and if it's not the right black person running, that is the Democrat that they want to promote, they silently kill us. They don't fund our campaigns. They don't do anything to help us win. When we the wrong type of Negro or the wrong type of black person. And so the Democratic Party makes my stomach nauseous, and so does the Republican Party. So I really believe that we need to figure out what it would take for us to strengthen the independent party to be one that is that has more power and credibility behind it, and really find another place for us and our agenda. Black people could really take over so many things if we could just come together and really support our own issues. Nobody is going to take care of us like we can take care of ourselves. And I am a firm believer of that. And nobody is passionate about our issues as much as we're passionate about it. And we can't keep looking to Whitey to save us.
Facts.
And that's just my thought process. But I've enjoyed this. And it's not that, because let me tell you, if it wasn't for white people, I wouldn't have a nonprofit organization, because I can count on one hand, 19 and a half years later, how many black people have ever contributed over $100, $25 to our organization.
Yep.
So had it not been for white people, I would have I am a resource provider for people that have previously been incarcerated who are parole, which the majority of overrepresentation in the prison system is Black
It's
people.
Black, yep.
And they come to me at 80% of questions, concerns, needs every week for over 19 years. Yet they represent less than 5 people on my hand of contributors in any way besides work. And so I just, I'm always just glad to be on here with you all, and thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Barry?
Hey, everyone. Latrice, if you would give me a call, I'd like to tell you about the work we're all doing that might be of interest to you.
Okay.
708-655-8833 is my cell.
I just wrote that down, Barry, 708-655-8833.
Exactly. Right.
Okay.
So looking forward to talking to you. What am I coming away with? Well, I think what the Dalai Lama said makes most sense to me. Claude Roman, was that to me?
Yeah, that's to you, yeah.
Okay, I didn't. I'll try to catch it afterwards. So, what the Dalai Lama said is your enemy is your spiritual teacher. So it seems to me that we need to respect everyone. And we need to, as much as possible, connect with as many people as we can and to build peace and strength. And we start with ourselves. And the bigger this network becomes, the stronger it becomes, because our strength comes from the people we're immediately connected with.
Yeah. Now I ain't gonna get at you, Barry, because you don't like because you don't like Republicans, so you ain't trying to connect with them at all.
Oh no, I've talked to Republicans, but not the Republican Party. But people who are Republicans, if we could get together with them, we'd have no problems, because most of them are friendly and want peace, and that's what we have in common.
You just ain't gonna party
But
with
the
them.
Republican Party is dangerous. It is fascist. And so that's what I have to say. So thank you all. It was great being back here with you.
Hey,
So I'm gonna
Latrice,
chat.
Latrice, Elise wanted to connect with you. I just wanted to make sure that both of you all didn't jump off before you had the chance to connect. Mr. Guala, you still there? Guala, you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
Guys, love this show. I love it. Every time we get on, it's a real slobber knocker, to say the least. I think one of the main things, even with the, what was her name? Mary, that was the last woman that spoke?
Latrice.
What was her name?
Latrice.
Oh, Latrice. Okay. So even like Latrice was saying, with what she had going on, she could count, at least probably 2 deals out of her pocket right now, how much, Black people contributed. And I think a lot of times it's not because we do not want to contribute. It goes back to finances. In 2023, when the markets are crashing and everything is on fire, this is the time to be learning something new. There's artificial intelligence. Listen, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people on this phone that still does not know about ChatGPT. They don't know. And all I'm saying is, if you hear something that you've been triggered by in the past, or it keeps running past you, you hear it on one of these episodes, do yourself the favor of looking it up and checking it out. This is artificial intelligence. This is another way, once we learn how to do it, that our counterparts are going to be using it to bring in income. The reason why we're behind a lot of times is because there's things that's on the horizon that we look and we just keep waking up and saying, oh shit, what happened? No, someone is telling you right now in 2023, you need to start looking at life and saying, how can I bring in additional income? Like they keep saying, the middle class is shrinking. Don't matter, the Democrat, Republican, none of that really don't matter when you're broke. You're going to be old and broke because the way that money is starting to just accumulate into the hands of the many, it's crazy right now. There's so many side hustles. It doesn't matter if you want to do Amazon. It don't matter if you want to do real estate. It doesn't matter if you want to do Forex. It don't matter if you want to learn artificial intelligence. It doesn't matter if you want to automate a business. You need to be learning something to bring in more income. If we have more, we can do more. And just like a lot of Bible thumpers will tell you, God wants it for you as well. That's all I got to say.
That's good stuff.
Amen.
Miss Jacobs.
Hi, everybody. I think we had a very good conversation tonight. But anyway, I am a senior. And I think, and I'm not ashamed of it. I thank God that I am a senior. And I'm trying to pave a way for you young people. I'm still out here, thank the Lord. And I'm not about stealing. I'm about faith and accountability.
That's right.
That's what I'm about. And I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. Thank God he's given me the strength, and I'm moving right along.
That's right.
That's right.
Yes, Miss Jacobs ain't new to this. She true to this. Miss Jacobs a big. Miss Jacobs a big stepper.
She said like Bush always used to say. You know, Bush used to say, I need to know where to bring the bullets or the Bible. So somebody tell me.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Steve.
Oh yeah, we had a good show tonight. We had a good show.
DeAndre, did you say something about contacting Roman?
That number for you. Yeah.
Where did you put it?
It's in the chat.
I see it in the chat.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
We'll get it to you.
Okay.
But
Okay, good.
yeah, I just want to say we had a great show today. We got people calling in from Texas and everywhere else. So let's keep it rolling. But we do have to always remember we want to have some takeaways when we come to this, because we do try to make things happen. There are a lot of issues, and we do try to solve some of them. But whatever we can do to help, just let us know, and we'll try to connect, get some resources and support for whatever it is out there that you have concerns about. All right?
Yes, sir. And for me, like I said, yeah, so I did get elected, technically. We are waiting until March 14th till the official results come out because the vote by mails are still being counted up, and day by day, the totals either go up or go down in terms of my counterparts in the third, fourth, and fifth slot. Otherwise, I'm 200 votes. I'm in the second slot, and I'm 200 votes up on the third slot, and that hasn't changed either way. So I'm 99% sure that I'm going to be elected. The 1% is just because you never know. Could be something crazy happen right towards the end. But that being said, I am one of the new electorate. Elise is one of the new electorate. Angelica not here, but she one of the new electorate. And we are the new electorate. Finally, we're going to have some younger representation that is free from the shackles of either party, because now we can make decisions for ourselves, because we didn't lean on anybody to get us elected. We did it ourselves. We put forth that pain and that effort, and we can proudly say that we did it and nobody else did it for us. And by that, we are free from the shackles of everybody. So the new electorate is here, and we happy and we ready to go to work, and we will be going to work as soon as March 14th come. My baby birthday just passed. She's a 3-year-old now, so I'm very happy about that. I'm going out of town next week. I'm very happy about that. And I just got a massage yesterday, so I'm very happy about that. So if y'all haven't done anything in terms of self-care, y'all need to go do that. Because some of y'all ain't did no self-care in a while. So y'all need to go do that. With that being said, listen, we do this thing every Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. We have various ways you can interact with our show. We got the Facebook, YouTube, and the Zoom. Hey, please share the show. You don't have to be selfish with the show. You can actually share it. People, a lot of people would like to come in and have these conversations with us too, because y'all know it's West Side People Talking West Side thing. It's all real. And again, you can just tune in any way you'd like to. Otherwise, we have multiple seats open. We just trying to welcome y'all on home. Thank y'all for allowing us to welcome you to Northwest Austin Council. Y'all have a good night.
Good night, all. And don't forget, reach one and bring one.
Good night, everybody.
All right.
Allahu Akbar.
It's going to get thicker by the week. Good night, all.